Hi, so today I'm back to make another video. Today's video is a video on how to make your own pattern paper. Now, this is just with some other inks and different stamps. Now, the first thing that I have here is the Hero Art Shadow ink in Butterbar, as well as the Hero Art Shadow ink in the Mint Julep, as well as the Simon Says Stamp ink in Lemon Chiffon. Those are the inks that I'm going to be using today. Now, that leaf stamp was from the Hello Sunshine stamp set from Gina K Designs. And then these flower stamps here are from the Simon Says Stamp Petal Pieces. And then that leaf I have here is from the W+9 Fresh Cut Florals. And then this is just a Studio G stamp that I believe that when I went on my trip to New York, I believe that I bought that at Michael's for $1. So I'm just using all different kinds of stamps from all over. You can get the different leaf stamps or different flower stamps from all over, all your different sets. I just had to look through and try to find some different sets that had different images that I wanted to use for this making my own. It's a floral pattern paper. Now what you can do is I'm stamping this wood stamp onto some white cardstock using the Lemon Chiffon dye ink from Hero Arts, which is, as you know, the Hero Arts shadow inks. The good qualities about them is that they do dry back less splotchy, and they do dry back very nice, and they have a little bit lighter color than what you originally had, and it turns out to be a nice smooth image. Now, to make your pattern paper, you want to make sure that you overlap the images, as well as that you make sure that you go over the edge of the paper, because if you're doing it right in the direct center, it's not going to look like a pattern paper. You have to make it look very random. So I stamped that other flower using the Butterbar, and then this is the leaf. I'm going to be doing all the leaves in the Mint Julep. So this is again, the Hero Art Shadow inks are really high quality inks. I really advise you to use them. The only reason why I'm doing these color scheme, and it seems to turn out really well for me, is that the only Hero Art Shadow inks that I have is the soft apricot, the Butterbar, the Lemon Chiffon. I have the Mint Julep. And then the Lemon Chiffon is by Simon Says Stamp, which is the Hero Art Shadow inks. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just that it's from a different brand. As well as I believe the W+9 ones as well are the same Hero Art Shadow inks. They're just just made by a different brand. Now, after I stamped out all the images, it was really fast and simple. I'm going ahead, I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black, and I'm going ahead and stamping out this outlined floral. I would advise you to use an outline because of the reason that it just gives it a little bit, it gives it more depth, but at the same time it's not too powerful. Because I'm going to be using, this is Recollection Sparkle Embossing Powder, which is a clear embossing powder with a kind of like a rainbow sparkle. It tends to have that tinge of a more cooler tones of a blue and a purple tone, which I really like about this sparkle embossing powder. I don't have any other sparkle embossing powders, but I'm sure you can use the Judikins sparkle embossing powder or the iridescent sparkle embossing powder that Jennifer McGuire uses kind of often, and I'm sure there's many others that you can use. Now you can go ahead and use your anti-static powder bag from Inkadinkado or your EKA Success anti-static powder tool on this before you stamp out these images in VersaFine. But because it's a clear embossing powder with the sparkle in it, it pretty much doesn't leave any kind of, even if it does have stray pieces, you don't see it at all. It's very not noticeable, especially even stamping out these images and putting the clear embossing powder on them. It really doesn't show up that much. As you see here, in the video, you can't even tell that it's embossed. So in that sense, you don't have to worry about any of those stray pieces. You really don't have to worry about it. Just go ahead and you don't have to do that. Plus, if any sparkle ends up in the place all over this panel, I'm perfectly fine with that, and it's going to give added dimension. Now, also, I just wanted to go ahead, I marked where my panel was going to be. I'm using this black We Are Memory Keepers washi tape. It came in my We Are Memory Keepers, the whole it came in that I bought a set, or my auntie got me a set that had a whole set of We Are Memory Keepers washi tapes in like a Lazy Susan kind of. It's a spinner, so I went ahead and I just found this black thinner washi tape, and I went ahead and taped it down, and then I'm going ahead and gonna adhere this piece panel down, just and having it overlap slightly. That's how it makes it look a little bit nicer too, if it's overlapped slightly. Now also, I had a request from Cameron Love. She's one of my subscribers, one of my kind of a little bit newer subscribers, and she asked me to do a review on this Elmer's Craft Bond adhesive tape runner from Walmart, which I had. So I went ahead and, as you saw, taking it out of the package, this is the refill. I had talked about coming right out of the package is ripping and having problems. So right there, as you saw, it got stuck to the original packaging, and I had to be kind of careful to make sure that I took it off very nicely and that I didn't make it rip. So that could be one problem. If it stuck and then you kind of ripped it, then that could be a problem and start the whole problem of having issues with it. Now also, I wanted to tell you guys that she's kind of a little bit newer on making card videos, but I'm highly advise you to go over to her channel and go ahead and check out her future videos. I'm sure she'll be making more craft or card making videos in the future. So it's something you can go over to her channel and maybe check that out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description bar below if you wanna just be able to hop over to her blog or her YouTube page really easily. Now I'm using this Inkajinka stamp positioner, and I have my VersaFine Onyx Blacks as well. And you wanna, when you're using your Inkajinka or any of the stamp positioners, you wanna stamp it on the rough side of the imaging sheet, and that's gonna help it so that it makes sure that you get a crisp image and that it will stick. Because what happens is, if you stamp it onto the slick side, what happens is that the stamp will shift and it will slide on that slick surface, so that you won't be able to get exactly where you want that image to be, because it'll be a little bit blurred. So make sure you stamp on the bumpy side, as well as I usually use this stamping positioner anytime I'm using a woodblock stamp, because of the reason that it's always usually crooked on the woodblock. So you have to be careful about that. Now this sentiment, I still got it a little bit crooked, but it's kind of the way it's designed. The get well is slightly angled when the soon is more straight. So it's just some stamps are just designed that way, and you can't help it. Now I have my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. I went ahead and corner rounded using the 1/2 inch size on the bottom right corner. And also what happened is that I imagined that I had a 11 inch piece of white cardstock, and I could make 2 cards out of the one panel. But what happened is that somehow I got odd size piece, and it ended up being perfect, so that the leftover went on the inside of the card, and it lined up pretty much perfectly with a small border. So that just so happened that it worked out that way. And then I'm just taking these clear rhinestones from Walmart. I like using these for little added dimension, and they're just from Offray is the brand. It's the ribbon brand. And this finishes my card. So thanks for watching. I also at the end I did go ahead and stamp a sentiment onto that in the inside as well, but that's pretty much my finished card. So thanks for watching. If you want to see any of my other cards, please visit my blog at micahscrafts.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.